Hello, everyone. This is Lainey Hawksma. I'm the Senior Research Analyst here at Metrigy. Welcome to our webinar titled AI-Powered WEM, Driving Agent Experience, Flexibility, and Business Unit Expansion. Although we don't send out copies of the deck, a replay of this webinar will be available in the channel shortly after the presentation. Before we get started, please note that Metrigy owns the copyright to all content in this webinar. You may not post, print, repurpose any of this material without the express written consent of Metrigy. You may retweet or share only the content that Metrigy posts on its social media sites. With that, let's get started. So a little bit about Metrigy. Our name says a lot about who we are. It's the combination of two words, metrics and strategy. We definitely try to deliver metrics-driven strategic guidance, and that's for employee and customer engagement leaders and technology providers. How can Metrigy help? We work with enterprise IT and CX leaders and technology providers, things like strategy sessions, analysis, assistance with identifying business cases for our enterprise and CX leaders. Technology providers, we provide product advice, message testing, marketing content, and custom research. And then for all of our companies, we have our research and advisory service where you get access to all of our research that we do, and we also have our MetriCast market forecast service that is our buy-side market forecasting. What can you do with this research? Like I just said, our research and advisory clients have access to all of this study. Project clients may use this to create marketing content with their license. If you have any questions on how you'd like to use this research, please reach out to us. So for this study specifically, we had 316 participating firms over 9 countries for 32 verticals, and our mean employee count was around 6,300, and our annual revenue was 1.1 billion. Our success metrics for this study, so if you're not familiar with Metrigy studies, what we do is compare our research across a success group. So we'll compare successful and non-successful companies. To be in the success group, companies had to have a revenue growth of greater than 10.8%, and this is due to the use of their WEM. They had to have a CSAT improvement of greater than 17.1%, and they had to have an OpEx change of 0.5% or less. Typically, we would see this as a reduction. At the moment, WEM may be too new for some users where they haven't recouped their licensing costs and implementation and training. We also do see a lot of companies increasing their spend due to adding AI licenses. So those are just a little bit of maybe explanations as to why our success group wasn't negative here. But we do expect that to go negative as the technology continues. And then just anytime we show a purple star here, it's just going to highlight a correlation for our research success group. So we'll start with a few charts just on basic WEM understanding. We did ask our respondents, what are we calling WEM? In the research space, I think we kind of agree on workforce engagement management, but our respondents are kind of mixed. The percentages are pretty close, but the largest percentage is calling it specifically workforce management, WFM. Second is a combination of WEM, WFM, and or WFO, and then for 25% that they're calling it workforce engagement management. So companies' ratings, or customer ratings, and just all of these metrics are increasing or getting better with the use of WEM. We see customer ratings increasing, agent and employee efficiency and satisfaction are increasing. We see revenue increasing. And then we do have, we talked about operational costs. There are still some companies, 25% that said they're decreased. There's some that said have no change here. And then our agent employee turnover, some of that is welcomed turnover with the efficiencies of AI and this technology that it offers for companies. We also asked at which level companies measure these changes, and for almost 80%, companies are measuring these changes at the contact center plus other business units. So we asked about what out of all the core workforce engagement management applications, which ones are companies using today? And WFM is used the most, it's adopted the most at 71%, followed by performance management, quality management, interaction analytics, and voice of the employee and employee feedback, and then training and coaching. Our success correlation lies with performance management, just meaning that there's the biggest gap between our successful companies have adopted performance management to the non-successful companies having adopted performance management. We then asked, out of all those same core applications, which one is the most important? So we had them rate it on a chart of like 1 to 7, I think. So this chart shows us specifically just what companies rated number one. So workforce management, again, was rated number one, most important, followed by performance management and quality management, interaction analytics, and then the rest of them here that we already went over. So the introduction of WEM has impacted all of these business metrics and benefits here overall. We have quality scores increasing, first contact resolution increasing, forecasting accuracy increase, and then scheduling adherence increasing. Average handle time, you see that there's a big chunk that's decreased, but also a good amount that does show increase, which typically you may not think is going to be an ideal metric, but our research is showing that average handle times are going up just with the use of AI-based coaching and upsell. So maybe the resolution was taken care of quickly, but then with that remaining time on the call, agents are now using that to upsell, and that may increase the time a little bit more, but that's okay because companies are making money from that. So moving on to agent experience, 72% of companies said that we should be using WEM applications for employees outside of the contact center, so in other business units. Only 27% are doing that right now, but a big chunk, 48%, is planning to do that in the future. So then the next question would be, of course, where outside of the contact center does your company plan to use these applications? Sales for 55% and account management for 53%, followed by help desk, field service, appointment desk, and in-store staff. Why doesn't your company plan? So for that small chunk that said that they don't plan to use it beyond the contact center, they said it's not a strategic IT priority, or there's no interest from business leaders, or they claim that there's other tools that are similar capabilities they already have in use. We see these business metric improvements with WEM outside of the contact center here. So looks kind of similar to where we see the WEM business metric improvements specific to the contact center, but we're also seeing these same improvements outside of the contact center. So 3/4 of companies agree that WEM does improve agent experience. 75% say that it's gotten better, and that is where our success correlation is as well. 96% of the success group that says that agent experience has gotten better with WEM. And why? The number one answer is improved performance with AI assistance. So that is really helping overall company's agent experience, but of course, that's also going to be helping with CSAT and cost and everything. There's also more training in general as a good And then, I'm sorry, more flexibility in scheduling, both of those at 54%. Just slightly over half we see enables us to allow remote work that's contributing to agent experience improving. Only 4.4% said that agent experience did get worse. The other chunk was, no change. But the for that small data set, they referenced just poor management, outdated training, and not enough breaks during the day. Also, a good chunk here, 43%, saying that AI assistance was not working well. So whether that's the technology error or training and implementation errors, you can see, AI assistance is really increasing agent experience when it's used appropriately. So perhaps these companies just need more training or more knowledge around the AI assistance. So here we asked from an agent's perspective, how important are the following, and ability to work remotely and scheduling flexibility were slightly more important than the more career-oriented factors here, like real-time coaching and career pathing. Um, and then for reducing attrition, we're seeing the similar pattern here. So scheduling flexibility and ability to work remotely are both ahead of real-time coaching and career pathing for reducing attrition. 75% of companies are allowing scheduling flexibility. And the benefit of doing so, companies say there's better work-life balance, of course, improved employee satisfaction ratings, and then you can see reduced attrition, more engaged during interactions, and a competitive advantage while hiring. In order to provide scheduling for agents, what tools are companies using? The biggest one here is a self-service scheduling portal, followed by AI-powered optimization tools. And, of course, we probably think that this will be increasing in the next few years. Mobile scheduling apps and then AI-powered real-time scheduling bots, this as well. Why doesn't your company allow? So there was only 25% that said they don't allow companies to self-schedule, and they're just concerned really about understaffing some shifts or scheduling requirements they believe are too complex for letting agents schedule their own work hours. Also, for 35%, managing adherence would be too difficult. For supervisor experience, we asked how the following has impacted supervisor efficiency at companies, and all of these are contributing to increased supervisor efficiency: automated quality management, auto summaries of agent performance, and then AI-powered coaching and training for agents. We see the success correlation here is with auto summaries of agent performance. And because supervisors are becoming more efficient from these AI tools, where are they spending their time? 71% said they're improving overall operational performance and quality. 54% of supervisors are using that time for personal skills development. And then, not far behind, 53% are using that for strategic planning for the business. And our success correlation is with personal skills development here. Moving on to automated quality management. So we asked, what are you trying to solve by automating quality management? Majority said just trying to solve a time-consuming manual process. Not far behind were just inconsistent quality evaluations, and then delayed feedback at coaching for agents, difficulty prioritizing coaching. And not surprisingly, 98% of companies do find automated quality management important. And as companies get larger, they get more important. So it goes, from like a 5 or 6 to a 7 on a scale of 1 to 7. So for advanced automated quality management, the way that we kind of differentiate here for the respondents was automated quality management is more so identifying what happened in the interaction. And then advanced quality management was why did this happen? And then what are we going to do about it? So companies are open to paying additional fees for that advanced QM feature. 43% are doing so now, and then actually 48% are planning to that in their budget. Companies are expecting no fewer than 50% of their interactions to be scored by automated quality management. And sometimes you think that should be higher just if you have the capabilities, but a lot of that does come down to cost, maybe initiatives where they want to target certain business units or areas, calls, and the other ones are doing fine. So 50% and more is the majority. But 78.5% of companies still feel that they want supervisor evaluations even with automated quality management. 34% are saying regularly, 45% say sometimes. The optimal blend of automated scoring would be about 62% automated and then 38% manual. And our success group has it just slightly higher at 68.5% automated versus 31.5% manual. We have some AI use cases. 62% of companies are using AI for WEM use cases right now. And of course, our success group, 81% of our success group is doing so as well. And how are they using that? Automated quality management is the top use case. We also see 53% using AI for identifying agent performance trends. 52% are evaluating agent performance. 50% are using AI for scheduling and forecasting. And then just under 50% are using AI for personalized coaching and training and assisting agents across tasks. So we asked if companies compare customer ratings between the highest and the lowest performers, and 71% of them do. For those that are using AI-based coaching, we asked if that helps close the gap in the agent performances at your company. They said yes, or of the 35% that did say yes, they were able to show a 24% reduction in that gap of high and low performers due to AI-based coaching. And this is a little interesting just because, of course you want both to be true. You want AI to help top performers do even better, but you also want that to help lower performers to improve. 61% said they want top performers to do even better, but when we look at our success group, the majority for the success group was actually for the lower performers to improve. So companies expect AI and automation to come with their licenses for the most part. If you look here, we see all of these features here: AI-powered agent performance, automated scheduling, automated quality management. Companies are kind of expecting all of this to come with their licenses for the majority, except for predictive AI to reduce agent burnout. That's not the majority there. But when we ask the same question flipped, I like to highlight here the unlikely section. So the unlikely percentages are very low compared to the likely and possibly. So while they do expect these features to be included in their licenses, it does show that they are willing to pay the supplemental fees here. And then finally, we asked, how are companies' live and virtual agents going to collaborate? 72% said learn from each other, 70% said to share skills, and then 66% said to share goals, which is kind of interesting. That's our negative success correlation there. Our success group said only 52% for sharing goals. All right, and that concludes the research. How can Metrigy help? We went over this slide here. I'll leave this here. I do want to draw your attention to the attachments tab. There you're going to find links to register for our next webinar, subscribe to our bi-weekly newsletter, participate in research if you would like, and you can check out our podcast there too. Also, Metrigy is now offering a research subscription service for single user ITCX and business professionals at SMB and enterprise organizations. It's only offered as a single user monthly or annual subscription, and it provides access to all our published research, discounts and strategy sessions, and the ability to participate in upcoming research studies. There you can find more information in the attachments tab as well. Again, the webinar replay should be up on our channel shortly. And if you found it valuable, please share it with your colleagues and take a moment to rate this webinar for us. If you haven't already, check out those links and check back often because we post new content on a regular basis. As a reminder, Metrigy owns the copyright to all content in this webinar. You may not use, post, print, or repurpose any of the material without the express written consent of Metrigy. You may retweet or share only the content that Metrigy posts on its social media sites. So thank you so much for attending this webinar. Here's the more information slide. And that concludes the webinar for today. Thank you.